And Sense strives to put your brain on the blockchain, your most valuable asset. So for the first time ever, researchers have devised a way to connect a human brain to the internet in real time. All human brains are full of data. So imagine what would happen if we could create a neural network of connected individuals, every single person connected to the internet through a neural network. That is what we're working on with Sense. We have to start with a few core principles. And when we started our company, we started with the values that every single human is valuable, that no one is alone, and that everyone is a sensei. Now, you might think of the word sensei and you think of a mentor or you think of a teacher, and really a sensei is someone who has just been there before. That's the literal translation in Japanese. And we think of this as everyone in this room, every human is really truly a sensei. So how do you define a value that seems really very unquantifiable? And this is the first goal for us. Let's define human value. We set out to define this value so that we could create an exchange for it, because the blockchain represents a transactional layer. If we can put a transactional layer on top of our brain, how do we quantify that? These are the 4 pillars of how humans seem to define themselves. So think for a moment about what really is the definition of your value. Is it that I'm defined by my paycheck? It's a lot of people define themselves that way. Or I'm defined by the skills that I have, the things that I've learned throughout my life. Are you defined by your contributions to society? Or maybe you're defined by what you love. And really the answer is that it's somewhere in the middle. The very big middle of this, the sweet spot, is what the Japanese call ikigai. And ikigai literally means one's reason for being, and we see this as one's life purpose. So what could you do that you love and benefit society and that you're also very good at? Could you do at least the combination of those 3 things? Because if you do, capital is likely to naturally follow. And so let's just assume that you're able to do those things. It doesn't really feel like a job. Now we're redefining how a human can contribute their skills and what that really looks like. So we have come up with the most valuable parts that we see that we may be able to quantify, and we call this your human capital. And human capital is really the skills and knowledge and life experience that you have, all of the things that are possessed by you, the individual, or your collective tribe, kind of like this group right here. We're a very valuable tribe when it comes to the blockchain because of our collective intelligence. So if we combine all of those things and then we apply it to our social contributions, what we give, that's our human capital. And human capital can also be the things that we take as well. So we're making contributions every single day. I'm guessing that every one of you has been on the internet at some point today and made some kind of contribution. Most of this happens in writing. As humans, we have found a way to be able to communicate everything that we know through language and through passing information. And lucky us, we have devices today that allow us to do that. We're connected to the internet. So think about your last contribution. What did you put on the internet most recently? Was it on a social network? Was it a blog post? It's probably some kind of content. So content falls in this category. We spend a lot of time doing it. But a lot of the capital that we're earning is not human capital. It's not this value that we can exchange for some kind of good. It's actually social capital. And we define ourselves by numbers. These are vanity metrics. They're the likes and the hearts and the favorites and the things that feel really good. A lot of the capital, a lot of the time that we are spending actually is being donated to centralized brands, centralized applications. We're giving a lot of our love and a lot of our time to these things. Some of the largest companies in the world, their foundation, their core is your data that they own, and then they resell it. And you don't really get a lot of upside. You might not get any upside. So for the humans, monetarily, when you're contributing to these networks, you're getting 0. But you're getting something that feels good. How do we change this? How do we connect together in a more meaningful way? So the second thing that we did is we set out to make better connections between the humans. Because creating a connection gives us the ability to share the information that gives us the value for our human capital. And humans are communicators at our core. We're arguably the most successful species on the planet because of our ability to pass information through stories from generation to generation across populations of people throughout time. From the hieroglyphics to emojis, we're really good at it. we now have the ability to connect to almost every single human on the planet, literally, instantaneously. And the thing that we do every day the most is we chat. On mobile today, teens are spending up to 6 hours a day on chat applications. Applications like Snapchat and social media count in this category. And with almost 5 billion people on the planet who have cell phones today, you would think that we're all completely connected, right? We're all in this same social network. But actually, messaging is fundamentally broken, and that's because it is centralized. It's all stuck in closed platforms. And in social networks today, someone else has control of those connections. We're all indexed by relationships, and those are circumstantial. It's where you grew up, it's where your family lives, it's where your friends are, it's where you went to school. Those are the reasons that you have your social connections. So SMS actually is the #1 messaging system in the world, and SMS used to be a closed-loop system. SMS used to be centralized. Not a lot of people know that. It took some time before carrier to carrier could talk. And in order to do that, a protocol layer had to be made on the middle of it, and it came at a cost, which is why messaging costs a lot of money. Inside of all of this data, there's an intermediary in every step, sometimes more than one, especially if you look at SMS. In a social network, though, all of this data is being captured, and if you look at something like Facebook that's now dominating both social networking and messaging, they're making $8 billion a quarter off of your data. I haven't seen any money on that. I don't know if you have. So we decided to build Sensay. Sensay is a platform that bridges the gap between centralized and decentralized applications. It's a network of bots that works inside of your messenger, and it works inside of things like Facebook and Telegram and Slack and SMS, all of those messaging apps that you use every day, allowing users to freely communicate between them and anonymously chat and transact. You can think of Sensay like a friend, like a contact in your messenger, and when you communicate with Sensay, it will find you the right human and pull them back into chat. So Sensay can really connect you to a human from any network. So Forbes wrote an article on Sensay, and they said that human connection is still a much more valuable resource than marketing data. And that's really important to us because it means that even that $8 billion a quarter is not as valuable as creating the connections between humans. So we saw that the more connections you can make, the more transactions you can have. And actually, connecting the humans together is the more important part in this instance. So this is Sensay. We started this as a project 3 years ago. We built the underlying platform, and it was an experiment in SMS alone. It's one of the first invisible applications. And it's really simple. This is Facebook Messenger. You just tell Sensay what you need. So this person wanted to talk to a software development project manager. Sensay will find the right humans, and that's an AI layer. It's doing that through a variety of ways of indexing all the humans in the world. And when you get connected to the person, if they have chatted with you and you had a good chat with them, you get a tip at the end. They can transact. So we put some kind of monetary layer inside of the application just to show that you have a gratitude or some value exchange. You're exchanging your human capital for some other digital asset. In this case, they're called Sensay coins. Now, here's another interesting thing to look at, digital currency transactions. Well, we've made it as easy to transact digital currency inside of chat as sending a message to your friend. Yet, there are only about 5 to 10 million known cryptocurrency users, and that number comes from MIT and Cambridge. It's actually really, really difficult to determine how many cryptocurrency users there are today. There are about 30 million wallets that are known, about 5 to 10 million users, and we think that's not enough. So this is Sense, the evolution of Sensay. Sense is the token that sits inside of Sensay and allows you to transact. And transacting Ethereum, like in this chat right here, is as simple as sending a message to your friends. So we think that human intelligence is the part that makes sense. Now, it's still really hard to quantify, and the way that we do it today is we let the users have a peer-to-peer transaction, so they're creating the value for themselves. So this is a statement about every single person becoming an entrepreneur. Now, in this journey to finding a way to quantify our value, we have realized that every single person is really a free agent, and soon to become even more so. With the advent of things like AI taking jobs, automated processing taking over, really every person is going to become an entrepreneur in some capacity. And you're going to be able to make money not just from other humans, but also from machines. So the important layer of what we've built is the underlying technology. The machine learning and AI inside of Sensay is really what holds it up. And we believe really deeply that artificial intelligence is a massive part of our future. However, we believe that the future of intelligence is not fully artificial, that it's human. That humans are going to augment themselves, and that humans are going to become smarter because of our ability to connect together faster, more efficiently, and create an information superhighway between all of us. We need this neural network to become as fast or faster than the competitive AI that's moving into our space. So enter the MeBot. A lot of you know my partner, Brock Pierce, and last year for his birthday, I gave him a gift. I made him a bot. We called it the BrockBot. And BrockBot is a little AI that lives in Facebook Messenger and allows you to have a conversation. Now, if you know Brock, you know that he is a very busy person. He travels the world doing conferences. He'll be here tomorrow. Right now, he's in Milan. And when he's done on the stage, he has so many people ask him questions, and he's such an open and generous person that he lets everybody message him inbound, and he tries to respond to all of them. It's very inefficient, though, when you're repeating the same things over and over. If you ask me right now, what is blockchain? I might defer that to somebody else in the audience and let them answer that, because it's a pretty easy one. How do I get into Bitcoin? Will you look at my pitch deck? So these repeatable answers are something that BrockBot can handle for you. And when it's finally time to talk to human Brock, it'll ping him, and he can send a message when it's convenient for him. So we want to make humans scalable. And the way that we do that is we take your conversational data, and we turn it into an AI, and we let a bot talk on your behalf. Now, this provides something really interesting. We call this knowledge attribution. We put that attribution on the blockchain, and we let you monetize on it. So those coins that you saw transacted can be transacted again and again, and you can earn them every single time your bot has a conversation with some other human or some other bot. So Sensay is a step forward in meshing our world of humanity with the future of chatbots. That's what Forbes said as well. And this is what today's platform looks like. So 3 years later, we've now created a token called Sense. That token represents the value for human capital. It can be used across any application. Sensay is just the first one. So this proof of concept that we created has 3 million users today, transacting 21 million coins, and it's still a closed-loop system. We hope to open it up and have at least 1 billion people on this platform. It'll be any application that any developer wants to use in an open protocol, and that protocol is called humans.ai. It's the blockchain for your brain. We are opening up developer tools for the neural network of human data. We're letting everyone access an open API. We're taking that entire underlying technology and we're giving it to the world because we believe that it's going to take a lot more people to build this than just us. So Sense the token is going to be available to everyone. We have a token sale coming up. These dates represent the pre-sale, and we're going to be opening in mid-October and accepting every token. So we are token agnostic, and we want to really have everyone be able to be a part of what we're building. We see the collective intelligence and we see the collective group of people who are building today as much more valuable. And we really do believe that decentralizing everything is the way that we're going to change the future a lot faster and in a lot better way. So this is what we think. The future of intelligence is not artificial. It is human. It makes a lot of sense. I think a lot of us are embarking on a journey to build something or to move into this new era where every single person has access and every single person has transparency, and these are the things that the blockchain affords. And the ability to own your own data and choose what you do with it is something that we should demand of the companies that are making billions of dollars, the largest companies in the world, off of search and social media, off of messaging, and every intermediary in between. Either we decentralize and break away from their platforms or demand that they hold up to these new standards. So please join me in making sense. You can find me outside. I'm happy to have a conversation with everyone. This is my business. Thank you.